So I just recorded a video without sound, so that was a good rehearsal. I'm going to go ahead and redo this. And this video is specifically for making Ask the Barbecue Nerd posts. I know we went through things pretty quickly, so there may be some confusion on how you make those posts. So I'm going to just do this really quickly, and I'll just go through it. So basically, let's start with something we might not have covered, and that is signing into the site, because at that point we didn't really have a live domain. So let me show you that, prime-bbq.com. So when you're on your website and you're kind of browsing around and you're like maybe on the contact page, like, oh, I want to make an edit. How do you edit? So basically, if you hit the escape key, it'll actually sign you in. If you aren't, if you haven't quote unquote authenticated, if you haven't put in your password, then it'll prompt you to do that. But if it just goes right in like that, then what happens is you can see the domain now says your prime-barbecue-admin.squarespace.com. So this is your Squarespace.com account. This is how you manage the site. I'm going to go ahead and sign out and show you another way here. So I just signed out. So now we're, this is, well, I'll get into this later, but you can see that we're still viewing the site in this mode, in this account mode. So you don't really want to, you never want to share this link with people. You only want to share, Prime. So let me make an example. Here's a good example. So we have press, and maybe you're talking with someone about an interview or something that you did. So here's, I gotta remove that. Sorry, I'll fix that. So let's say you wanted to share this with somebody. That's the link up there, but you don't want to share that one because it's the Squarespace domain. So I know it's a little weird kind of starting out, but what you can do after making that edit is if you just browse to your site, prime-barbecue.com, and then go back to your press, and then go into the post. That's the actual domain. So that's the one that you'd want to share. Just always make sure that it starts with prime-barbecue.com, blah, blah, blah. You could also just change that before you hit send if you're going to send to someone, but it's usually easier to kind of get that same experience. You just don't want Google to see both sites because they're literally kind of like two separate sites. Anyway, don't want to get too far into that. But so anyway, the other way to log in is if you go like prime-barbecue.com/config, which you won't remember that as much as you'd remember hitting the escape key. So going to config works, or if you're on squarespace.com, you can actually log in here. You can just do it there. I typically just like to go to the website and then just hit the escape key, and it'll take you to the sign in screen. So then you would add your sign in, and I can't remember mine, so go here. Oh, well, I know my email address. Okay, hello. And then I'll paste that in. There we go. So I'm logging in. All right, now the fun happens. So the Ask the Barbie. Oh, and then when we're previewing the page. So when you sign in, when you first sign in, it'll always have this kind of split kind of admin view. To view it full screen, you can either hit escape again, and it'll shrink that. Escape key, it'll do that. Or you can do the old arrow there. If for some reason, let's say I refresh the page, and my arrow is gone at that point, it's no longer there, just hit the escape key again, and it'll toggle back into that edit mode. Cool. All right, those are some things I wanted to get past because I know we really didn't cover those in detail because it wasn't really. I think your eyes would have glazed over, much like they are now in this video. All right, so Ask the Barbecue Nerd. This is kind of independent from your process, but people will go here and they'll post. And by the way, I just added location because we have that on the actual post, and I realized, oh, we didn't add that. So city, state, country, state of mind, whatever. There we go. So that's, you will receive an email with this information as it comes to you. Then what you do is you take that email and you would go to pages and then scroll down here to barbecue nerd. So it has this little different icon. And right now, what I noticed today when I was kind of clicking through the site is this page right now without posts in it, it kind of appears like it's just another way to contact you. So I would advise getting some posts in there so people would start actually using it. I think before that, they're just going to see it as another contact form and they might not even get involved. So be sure and get some stuff out there, and here's how you do it. So we just hit the plus sign right here, and this makes a new post. In our formatting, we go ahead and put the question first. So what type of plates do you use when spinning them? There we go. And then you would, so that's their question. And this was asked by whom? This is where you'd put in the additional options. So you'd toggle here, you say content. That's where we just type the title or the question. And then additional options is where you'd give the author. If you didn't give the author, it would just look weird. It would have a weird formatting. You could just say unknown if you don't know, but they're going to put in something. If they're putting in like Eddie Murphy, but it's a great, a great question, then you could just, do whatever you want. Make up your own at this point. And then author location, corn country. I think I put that on my form. I'll just put John Doe. There you go. So then you go back to the content then. Let's see how we did that. Additional options, content. And then this is where you would answer this person's question. Fantastic question, blah, 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 paste. Oops. And I'm going to put in, some fake paragraphs. There we go. There's your answer to their question. What you can also do, we talked about doing some filtering and things. Categories are like kind of larger things and tags are kind of smaller things. So with categories, we could say like, let's use a term like service or something like that, right? So we, oops, did I not? Service, enter, there we go. So service is one category, and then maybe we have a tag called plates. And I'll just hit enter. There we go. So we got plates and service, and then later people can then filter, or you can filter by those things. So you could filter by plates. So that's basically it. So we're saying, no comments. We don't want those. And then save and publish. So at this point, what type of plates to use when spinning them? John Doe, corn country. And then let's go ahead and add another one. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a brisket? And then this was asked by Jane Doe, and we're just gonna say like Ohio or something, whatever you want to put. And then your content is, let me try. I'll just put paste again. And then, so this is, maybe your category is, meat varieties. Is that spelled right? Meat. Let me instead just not even do that. Let's just go right for brisket on a tag. There we go. So then I'm just going to say save and publish. And this is, again, just our trial thing. We're just doing a quick test. And let's say we want that one on top. What we can do is actually drag and drop. So these are, you just change the order of those. How many licks does it take to get the center of a brisket? What type of plates do you use when spinning them? There we go. So, and then the way the categories and tags work. What's your favorite tablecloth? You know how hard this is to come up with stuff? Not hard at all. What's your favorite tablecloth? So you got an email that talked about that, and then you put your answer in there. And then what we can do is go back to categories, and let's select service again. And then I'm not going to even put a tag, because why? Why would you? And then additional options, I'm going to put Henry Ford. And then, of course, he's in Ford country. Hey. And that's it. Save, publish. And then let's put that one at the top. Piece of cake. What's your favorite tablecloth? Henry Ford, Ford country. There we go. So again, you can change the order of these. If you don't want to have this one live yet, like you could go ahead and fill in a whole bunch into your content, and then just say save instead of save and publish, and it'll make a draft. Let's see how that looks real quickly. Question, and here's your answer, and additional options. I'm not going to fill this in to show you what it's going to look like. That'll be our next phase. And category, I'll just call it service again. And then let's go ahead. It's going to save as a draft. So if I just say save, then it creates that in draft mode. It's not live. So then what you can do is stack those all up. You can have 30 of them things in there. Double click it, go in there, and then if you want to save and publish, it'll do that. So that's how we do that. And we notice on that one we didn't add the name and the location, so it has a comma. So it keeps that same formatting. So just, you know, if it's unknown, then just ignore the location. That's something entirely different, even though it looks like it should be there. So author is name, or again, we could say unknown, because maybe we don't know. Maybe they just made a fake name. And then author location, you know, USA, baby. There we go. Unknown, USA, baby. That's how it works. So, and then deleting posts, you can either delete like this. You can be in the post actually and say delete, and it'll say, are you sure? Delete like that. Or you can kind of click them like that, remove. Or you can lasso them, remove. So there you go. Hopefully that's helpful. Add your barbecue nerd posts, and have a wonderful day.